For the silver price and gold price, the tide has turned. The winds have shifted, and today we're joined with our favorite weatherman, the one and only Coin Shop Chris. We're going to talk about the fact that, yes, the environment has changed. We're in a new paradigm for the silver price and the gold price. But we're going to talk about why and a lot more. Coin Shop Chris, welcome to Ron's Basement.
Ron, every single week is great to be back in the basement. I'd just like to remind you viewers, please give this a like. Please share this. Please subscribe. We're trying to get to 34,000 subscribers by February 14th. Let's show Ron some love. He does a heck of a job doing this every single day for us. So let's help him get to his goal.
That's right. 34 million subscribers by next Valentine's Day. But Chris, let's talk about $85 silver, $65 silver. Are you of the belief that the tide has indeed turned, that as we go through 2024, we're going to see come to fruition what so many people are saying, and that we will get record all-time highs in the gold price, and that silver will outperform gold and could be the surprise asset of the year?
Well, Ron, I see gold topping out this year. You're not going to like this too much, but I see gold topping at 24.33. We're not going to get that blindfold off the beard this year, I don't believe. I see silver, like we said before, Ron, between 50 and 70 this year. I think we got trouble in the banks brewing. Come mid-February to beginning of March, we will see if that comes to be true.
I was reading an article the other day, Chris, from the Telegraph, I think, which is from the United Kingdom, that talked about the fact that these banks are in huge trouble. Like 4 big university researchers here in the United States put out a report that said, we're talking trillions of dollars of big issues at the banks. And that with this commercial real estate is all just starting to roll. Obviously, their treasury, that we do have indeed a big serious problem at the banks.
Absolutely. And they're going to fall like dominoes, Ron. They're not going to be able, the Fed does not have the money to bail these banks out anymore. Every dollar you put in the bank, we all put in the bank, you're insured 2 cents on it. Yeah. That is it. I mean, yeah. They don't have your money. It's not your money once you put it in the bank. I mean,
well, thank God, thank Chris, thank God it's an election year, because we're going to get a chance to re-elect Joe Biden, because we all know that Bidenomics, it's working. Right? I mean, he's steering us in the right direction.
Well, my opinion on that, Ron, I'll go down that rabbit hole with you. I think they're going to create something big. Don't know what. I'm not going to really get into this too deep with you. But I think they're going to create something big where Biden will get it for 4 more years. It's sad to say that. But, this country, normally when something happens big, we don't change presidents.
Yeah, but Chris, right now, Joe Biden is sitting with a 37% approval rating, like one of the lowest presidential approval ratings of all time. We're heading into, and I don't think enough people, there's you and me, but we got this third person joining us right now, and we do appreciate you joining us. And like Coinshot Chris said earlier, please like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. That's always free. But this third person is likely living in the United States. If not, they're in a different country. They're observing what's going on. People are not happy with the current state of the United States economy. I think it's safe to say that Bidenomics, that we all say, it's not working. Okay, but nonetheless, election years are full of election year craziness. And this one, nobody's talking about it, but it's shaping up to be one of the craziest election years that most of us have ever experienced. And that the sitting party in control, the current power structure, will take concrete steps to try to create the illusion that things are good out there. But about the only way they're going to be able to do that is with some loosey-goosey social programs. Oh, we're going to send everybody a check for $1,200, whatever the case may be. all of it would be supportive for silver and gold.
Absolutely, and that is probably what's one of the guidelines that's going to happen. We're going to see another stimulus check pop out. Now it might be a little bit more than $1,200. We have to see if that's going to come play through or not. But
Mm-hmm.
people forget, not your viewers. Your viewers are smart people on. I see the comments all the time. But the mainstream people that do not watch your channel, they forget what happened in 2008 to 2011. They just forgot. And it wasn't that long ago with the banking crisis back then. What is it going to take for people to start remembering, Ron? I don't know. But this is a very scary time. And, this is why I say, I'm doing this. You're doing this, Ron. A lot of your viewers are doing this. We're converting our unicorn dust dollar bills into silver and gold.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I believe that's the right move.
Yeah. I appreciate you bringing that up because a lot of us remember the tech boom, right? 1995 through about the year 2000, the tech bubble, and everything was great. I was in the tech industry. Everything was awesome until suddenly it wasn't. And then what about the years leading up to the great financial crisis, Chris, in 2008? Remember 2004 and 5? Everything was great, right? People were making all this money on real estate. All of our home values were going through the roof, right? Everything was great. And then suddenly, Chris, it wasn't. Right. So if people are scared, our basement brothers, our fellow basement dwellers, brothers and sisters, right, they're in the right place, right? I think it's pretty smart to be a little scared right now, but even smarter to be preparing. And like you said, right, a lot of us prepare by converting our paper, and I think you called it unicorn fart dust dollars, into real metals.
Absolutely, and exactly what it is. Ron, we were all kids. We all played with balloons when we were a kid. We all blew them up, let the air out, blew them up, and after a while, it gets so your moisture gets wet inside the balloon, and finally the balloon pops in your face. This is what this country's coming to be, pop.
Chris, I never I didn't play with balloons when I grew up.
I'm sure you did, Ron.
I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, how was your trip to the Bass Pro Shop last night?
What are you talking about, Bass Pro Shop? I don't go there.
No, Chris. You went to the Bass Pro Shop last night? You know what? We'll talk about that more later. Okay. What about the employment numbers, right? I know the Bass Pro Shop's trying to hire a lot of people everywhere, and we got these great employment numbers yesterday, right? Let's get back to silver and gold. Those great employment numbers should have slaughtered the price of silver and gold. And there was a point yesterday in the morning where gold was actually up. It went down immediately on the news, which is what everybody expected. Not that the numbers would be great, but that if the numbers were great, which they indeed were, that the price of silver and gold would be in the toilet. But heck, I think silver wound up being positive for the day yesterday, and gold was either even, maybe up $1 or $2. We're sitting with $2,045 gold right now, Chris.
Absolutely, Ron. But where are these jobs coming from, Ron? Where are these jobs coming from? They're coming from fast food joints, and I'm not condemning anybody who works at a fast food joint. Everybody needs a job, Ron. But most of these jobs are coming from service sector jobs, and that's where these jobs are coming from. Either Amazon delivery to your home. We just got over Christmas, Ron. With some of these seasonal jobs that are going to eventually go away in January and February. That's yet to be seen, Ron.
Yeah, Well, a lot of the jobs are third and fourth jobs that people are doing just to make ends meet, just to try to put food on the table for their family, because we all know that Biomics is working, right? The numbers are suspect, and what's always crazy about those numbers is the fact that, we just received December numbers because we're early January right now. But then at the very end, they kind of sneak in that, oh, and by the way, we're making adjustments to the previous 2 months, November and October. I forget what it was. October was revised down by 45,000 jobs. So those great numbers in October got revised from 150 down to a little over $100,000 jobs. Sorry, and November was revised down 26,000 from 200,000 jobs down to about 175,000 jobs, and then next month they'll revise November down even lower. It's a joke on Wall Street. They refer to the BLS, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the government department that puts out the jobs numbers, as the Bureau of Lies and Statistics. We're not saying that here in the basement. That's what I have on good word. They refer to the BLS as on Wall Street.
Well, as much as these politicians make, Ron, maybe they should invest in a new calculator, because their calculators are broken.
Yep. It's getting crazy out there. The Middle East is escalating. I was just reading about that before I came on. More attacks by the Ukrainians into Russian territory. That situation seems to be heating up. And then we also have this Taiwan situation. As we move into 2024, as the tide turns for the silver and gold prices, it sure seems like on many fronts, domestically here in the United States and on a worldwide basis, on a more geopolitical basis, that we are set up for much higher prices.
Absolutely, and that's what I see, Ron. I mean, we could be both wrong. We could be both right. I mean, the year is still young. They're still playing their game at the climax. Now, with the numbers, I mean, I looked on the chart today, the federal government chart, we got 422 contracts on for 1 ounce, for every 1 ounce of silver.
Wow.
It's gone up to 422.
Wow. Wow.
Somebody's not going to get their silver.
What about when you mine silver out of the ground? You hear different numbers, anywhere from 8, for each ounce of gold that's mined every year, there's 8 ounces of silver. I've heard other people say 12. Did you have any idea what those kind of numbers equate to, based off like the current gold price?
I actually took the numbers, Ron, for you. And, I think it's 8 to 1. That's where you hear the most of, but nobody knows for sure. But let's just say I did from 7 to 1, 7 ounces. So if you took the price of gold at the futures price, which is $2,056.60 on January 6, 2024, your silver price should be $293.22. You go 8 to 1, you divide that by that same gold price, you get a silver price of $256.57, Ron. You divide that by 10, you get 205.26. And if you use the 12 to 1 ratio, it's $171.05. This is the math where silver should be. Whatever ratio they say it is, they claim it is. My question is, and I don't think anybody knows his answer, why aren't we having these silver prices now?
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, and then on top of that, again, for every 1 ounce of gold, let's say there's 10 ounces. We'll split it down the middle of silver that are mined. That gold just gets stored. That silver not only gets stored and is not only a monetary metal, but a good portion of it is consumed by industry, as we've talked about ad nauseum on this channel, because of all the electrical and other great qualities possessed by silver. It's used in electronics, solar panels, electric cars. The list goes on and on. It really is crazy.
It's used in everything, Ron. Gold's not used very much. I look at gold as bank-to-bank transactions to pay debt. Silver is everyday people's money. So, I mean, we've talked about this before, Ron. If you took everybody in the world and handed out every single ounce of silver, you probably end up with 3.2 ounces silver for everybody in the world that's above ground right now.
Yep, I've heard some staggering numbers regarding that on an annual basis. For every human on the planet, Chris, here's one for you. About 1/10 of 1 ounce of silver is mined. So that means go get 9 of your friends and hang out in a circle. And for all 10 of you, put an ounce of silver in the middle, and that's the 1 ounce that gets mine for all 10 of you.
And we can all jump on it like a football. See who gets it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. You did some shopping. Was it for 10-ounce silver bars this week, Chris? Is that correct? You have
That
some numbers in
is
that.
correct. These are for 10-ounce silver bar, various mints, which
Let me
means
let me
it's
let me interject something. So let's say the viewer who's with us today, or me, right, decides I'm going to go out and shop around for 10-ounce silver bars, and I don't want to go to my local coin shop, and I'm just going to buy one online because there's there's great deals available online. So I go and I start shopping around for 10-ounce silver bars. Let's set the table. What are they going to find, Chris?
you're gonna find I worked on this week 10-ounce various mints, which means it's really whoever you go to is their choice. Whoever you're buying it's gonna be their choice. It could be a generic generic bar or a government issue bar. So it's kind of like a gamble this week. So AtMex, this is for ACH for one. I did it all for one. AtMex had them for 274 on. JM Bolin had them for 272.80. Money Metals had them for 262.90. BGASC had them for 266.80. SD Bolin had them for 262.55. And our sponsor Pinbacks Ron had them at 253.94. So if you take the top price of that max and divide that minus 253, you're saving $20.06 per 10-ounce bar, Ron.
Wow. Wow. Almost enough to buy yourself a silver round. But if a man or woman out there, our viewer who's joining us now, let's say they were going to buy 10-ounce silver bars from the highest price to what they could get them for at Pimbex, they would save almost over $200, which could easily get you 7 American Silver Eagles or Austrian Philharmonics or your favorite, the Kookaburra, right?
Absolutely, Ron. I cannot say enough about Pinbacks. Week after week, Ron, I don't know how they can do this week after week because they're awesome buys at Pinbacks every single time, Ron.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've worked with Pimbex now for 6 months. I've said this many times. I get emails and comments on the videos from people. Everybody overwhelmingly positive, and I really, honestly, I can't say that I've had anybody ever send me anything really negative at all about Pimbex. So we appreciate their sponsorship. The other company that makes these videos possible, Fortuna Silver, is a new sponsor for the channel this year. That's a stock that I've owned for years and years. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just telling you about companies that I own that I think very highly of. First Mining Gold was one of those in the last year, which I still own and I still think very highly of. Fortuna Silver is more of a producer. They're a mining company. They got mines all over the world. Africa, South America, Mexico. They actually have 5 operating mines right now. They're producing currently more gold than silver, but they produce both gold and silver. Very solid balance sheet, and a company that has just grown and grown consistently for almost 20 years. So thanks to both of our sponsors, Pimbex, the online bullion dealer, and to Fortuna Silver, our mining company sponsor, both what I consider to be best in class for the businesses that they're in. And yeah, Chris, what else did we have to talk about? Oh, the 30-day numbers.
Well, before we get to the 30-day numbers, Ron,
yeah.
I got to say, I could not even, the coin shop I work for, Ron, we were coming in a little bit higher than Pinbacks at 257 and change. I can't remember what the change was, but I could not match Pinbacks this week if someone came in. I just couldn't do it. We just couldn't do it, Ron.
Good.
So, please, everybody, this another thing we do need to talk about, Ron. Please, everybody, check your prices everywhere. Please get your best price. And you know, check out Pinbacks week after week for their
Yep.
best prices.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
just wanted to, before we get to 30-day numbers, Ron, I'll make this brief, Ron. You know, we see other YouTubers out there showing their whole stacks of silver and gold, whatnot. I'm not going to say they're doing a bad thing, but if you're new to gold and silver stacking, please don't compare your stack with their stack. You don't know how they got it. You don't know how well off they are or how long they've been doing it. I think it's more for views, in my opinion. But if that's what they want to do on their channel, that's fine. But don't think you're never gonna get up to where they're at. Do it at your own pace. Stack at your own pace.
You want to hear
Don't try
something
to keep
funny?
up. Go ahead.
You want to hear something funny when you're done? I'm sorry I
Absolutely.
cut you. Okay. Were you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Are you ready for this? You like Bass Pro Shop, right, Chris?
Never been there, but okay.
Oh, you deny everything. Barbie, Bass Pro. Probably next thing you're gonna tell me is you don't eat ding dongs. This is
I
from
do eat ding dongs.
this is from NBC News.
Oh,
Okay, this is
Jesus.
in NBC News. Police arrest a naked man who cannonball jumped into an aquarium at an Alabama Bass Pro Shop. Okay, let me read this to you. A man crashed his car outside a Bass Pro Shop in Alabama, stripped down to his birthday suit. I think we both know what that means, and plunged into the giant aquarium inside the store, police said. The ordeal happened Thursday night in front of shocked shoppers in the town just outside of Birmingham, leads police chief Paul Irwin said. The 42-year-old man did a cannonball leap into the aquarium and then stood under the waterfall. He left the water to yell at the two officers, ate two ding dongs, and then dove back into the aquarium, police said. Which part did I add to that whole story?
You probably added the ding dong part to it.
You're right, but I thought that was funny. So, did we miss anything? Oh, yeah, the 30-day numbers. Let's get back to
30-day
business
numbers
here.
on. Yeah, let me get to those.
Well, that
Okay,
was pretty
so
funny, though, wasn't it, Chris, that guy?
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I could call him something else, but I'm going to be respectful and
Yeah.
I'll just be quiet about that now. Just before I
Okay.
say something, I shouldn't.
Maybe he got laid off from his job at the Comex, right? Who knows?
The clown. So yeah, they're all a bunch
The
of
clown
clowns.
show.
Right?
Yeah.
Silver was down $1.49 on over the last 30 days, or down 6.09%. Gold was actually up $1.06, or up 0.05%. It's just hanged on to a little bit of a edge there. Platinum is done really well. I mean, something we need to watch with platinum here is up $29.72, or up 3.28%. I'm not even going to talk about Bitcoin this week, Ron. I think the Bitcoin numbers I have written down are wrong. The chart I was using, it didn't seem like it was right, so I'm just going to skip that for this week. Oil was actually up 34 cents a barrel, or up 0.47%. Like I said a few weeks ago, Ron, keep an eye on oil. Oil revolves around everything.
Oil runs everything. Everything in the world is made. Everything you're looking at, even like this, is made out of oil, right?
Absolutely.
Plastic, right?
Plastics, yeah.
Big Daddy Don Garlits. Everything's made out of oil.
And the silver to the gold ratio, everybody needs to be sitting down for this one. It was 87.90. So let's say 88 ounces of silver to get 1 ounce of gold.
Let me get that straight, Chris. That means if I want to trade some silver, American Silver Eagles for an American Buffalo gold coin, that I would have to take 4 tubes of American Silver Eagles and 8 additional individual Eagles and trade 4 tubes and 8 Eagles to get 1 gold coin?
Absolutely.
That sounds like a bad deal to me.
This is why I'd say, Ron, I think silver is the most undervalued asset in the world, and silver has the most room. You know, then I would put really at platinum, you know, the next one, then, you know, be gold. Yes, gold's king. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like gold here because it's already hit its all-time high. silver and platinum have more room to move before they get back to the old time highs. And they're suppressing both of them like heck.
Yep. Well, Chris, thank you for your commentary. Thank you for everything you do for the channel. I want to mention to our viewer that if you want to help support Coin Shop Chris, there's a link in this video to his PayPal address where you could give him a little donation. He really gets happy and a big kick when you do that. And it's a nice way to show that you appreciate everything that Coin Shop Chris does for the Ron's Basement dweller community.
And I appreciate everybody helping me out. I do appreciate it. You know, we will be back every single week. Or I will be back. Ron will be back every single day for the rest of his life, as he promised us. And I promise.
I don't know why I said that. Why did I say that? That's a pretty big commitment. I'm going to do it one day at a time, Chris.
Well, you promised several times. I quote, I'll make a video or live stream every single day for the rest of my life. And
that's right. You get to watch me degrade live on TV. Although, what's one quality of us basement dwellers that's unique when compared to other people?
We're here every single day, Ron.
And we get better looking as we get older.
Well, maybe you do. I don't know about me, but
well,
I'll just leave it as that.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you to the viewer for joining us, right? Like, you really are the most important part of this community. Chris and I put out a video every weekend, so we'd invite you to come back and join us. Chris, thank you. And can we count on seeing you next week?
For the rest of the year, yes, Ron. We got another 51 videos left to do this year.
Yeah, well, we do joke around a little bit. I'm pretty sure that wasn't Coin Shop Chris that jumped in the aquarium at the Bass Pro Shop, folks, but I'm not absolutely sure. I'm still doing some digging on that one.
Well, if the guy was 42, Ron, and I'm 43, so that
well, close enough.
So that takes me out.
Close enough. I know. I got a feeling. I know where you're going swimming tonight. We'll see you next week, Chris.
I'll see you next week, Ron. Bye-bye.